You're on, buddy.
We are recording.
Yes,
My
sir.
name is Travis. I'm one of the Kung Fu brothers that, if you did not meet me, you probably won't for another 18 months.
Yeah, he's in the army, man. He's going over to Germany and shit. They're having this seminar now, but...
Yeah, unfortunately I have to leave before the seminar starts, but I get to see everybody before I go. If I haven't met you yet, I will meet you and I will play hands with you when I get back.
All right, Travis. Thanks a lot, man.
It hurts my arm. Right. She actually told somebody. Yes, she does. Marcus, over here. So you work. And you're on the camera, right?
Yeah.
And you can move the camera up if you want to get some more close-ups. Incorporate that open. How you make it up? ¿Qué pasó? Oh, man. You didn't come back here tonight. Let's change the Wednesday shift. It's a real big class. What time for that? Is this a stop in New York? Like, you go a quick, like, training session or something? Kind of like including it with the whole big trip. May not be the thing to do. Like, what you and I might need to do is do like an immediate planning or you will be coming back over here in 6 months just to go to the service. Not 6 months, 6 weeks, you know what I'm saying? Like maybe like the first weekend of September, we can fly right to New York. And of course, you can see Thais right here and all that. And some extra time you plan. We go there with planning to go to the school. That's kind of better energy, better luck, you know? That's what I'm thinking about, you know what I mean? Cool. And if we can work it out, like for you to go over to New York, fly out on Thursday, like if you're playing these days up, you could always take a train. Like maybe if your plane's leaving at like 7 or 8 o'clock, you could probably be in Richmond by like 3 p.m. by taking like the first train out, you know? And it's only like $70. See what I'm saying? And so, I mean, whatever the situation is, I mean, like we talked about it, something works out. You know what I'm saying? Hold on. Hey, y'all, get away from that table over there. She saw over here. Thank you. Hello? Here we go. But you understand what I'm saying? Yeah. I mean, because Rob's about to start with some guys from That's good. Yeah, I was Yo. So. All right, so anyway, this is out there. I will go back to having fun. I would, you call the bar or whatever, and then I can roll it. You know what I mean? But so I'm looking forward to having a good workout. With you, man. And I'm sure everybody's looking forward to seeing you. Everyone's looking forward to seeing you here, too. That's all that ass, brother. Good. Here. Wait, no uncles working out with each other. Why is that happening? What is going on here? Tim, you work out over here. I should have signed the need to be one. Hold on, wait. What do you want? Whatever you want.
Doing all the hands.
Anybody here doing toy up? Toy up. She's out over here. You doing toy up? All right, work with his left side, move him up to the side outside. Okay. Fine, just introduce him to one step, just out outside. Where's my thanks? Try fixing him with my shit.
Where'd everybody go?
Again, first section of steel towel. Okay, one more time. One more. All right, get with your partner, practice pak sao. No pak dar, pak sao only. First section, single towel. Pak sao only. No pak dar. Practicing pak sao. Go ahead. With your partner, practice your pak sao exercise. Not switch, I mean stay with the same person you're with. Now, play the pox out real soft and gentle. You make no noise at all. You hear no slap. Or it's a gentle slap. Who says a slap has to be loud? What is the sound of one hand slapping? There you go.
Is that for the pox or for the punch? Or both?
If a tree falls in the forest and no one witnesses it, does it make a noise?
Yes.
Physics. So what is the sound of one hand clapping? It is a pox sound. All right, all tomfoolery of profound Zen idioms aside, pox out. Study the nature of what it means to slap or deflect. Okay? When you punch, you should be sticking a bit to the person who's blocking. When you feel yourself get blocked, you should totally relax and surrender to that block. You can't fight against the block. The only thing you can do is change your hands later. You cannot fight against a block. You can only change your hand to another position and counter what has occurred. But you don't want to resist a block. You don't want to force your way into a block. You simply want to know what's going on. You have contact with the person, so therefore, you have an option as to what to do next. Your last option should be force against the block. There has to be something else you can do, some other movement. You just feel the block. Those who are blocking, you must occupy center. Your job is to block. You have to accomplish that job. Occupy the center line. Control it. All right, now everyone stand at a greater distance from each other. Same exercise. Full arm out. You can pox out the wrist or the fist on this exercise. Full arm out. If you think you're standing far enough from each other, stand back even further. Same gentle, soft rule applies. Let's go. No cupping. Fingertips straight, together. This is a Wu Sao hand position. Outer gate, Wu Sao hand position. This is not the floppy disk position. There's a humor there. Yo, ZH. Come on. All right, now speed it up a little bit. Now the person who is playing the pox out really occupy the center. You will notice a greater degree of energy use to get that center line. Make sure when you're occupying center, it is your wrist occupying center, not your hand. Pop far enough so that the wrist is controlling the center. The wrist covers the hand. Don't pop upward, cover a little bit. Okay, take a break. Take a break, relax yourself, sit down. Everybody take a break, relax, sit down somewhere. Try not to sit down.
It says 30 minutes.
Yeah, I couldn't figure out how to switch it over to the different modes so that it would last another an hour. I couldn't figure it out. It wouldn't change for me.
Cameraman. Just teasing you. All right, you guys ready? That stage is waiting for you right there, too. That's so funny. All right. First and second section, see them down. You do your whole form and come to your form. Follow my lead. this is really funny, this second section, you know, it's like, yeah, stagger yourself so you can do the full part this way. Second section is really kind of funny, like there is a way where you can play this with like a lot of energy if you wanted to, but do not a lot. Especially like in class, like there's a way to cover up your kung fu you guys gotta start. Y'all remember the seminar where I was teaching people, notice how conveniently I turned my back to the camera to show this technique, okay? You know, I came out, showed you the punch, and I showed you how to apply this technique before going into this. You gotta really even cover that up. You know, like when you play this, you're like, boom, and just, no one knows, but your consciousness is there. You know you can do this, you know, if you need to. For what reason? You'll find out in your Kung Fu life thing. Or maybe it'll never be a technique you ever have to use. I've had to use it. I know that it's worthwhile. Therefore, I teach it, you learn it, I learn it, I develop it, but I cover it up too. Anyone from within the family, if they didn't know about the technique, they wouldn't see me do it, because they see this. And someone outside the family doesn't even have an idea what the Hun Sao is anyway. Capiche? So, middle section with a lot of energy. Interesting how WingChun trains that. Because the nature of it, the first section has that degree of softness, and the praying Christ of Buddha section, very soft. And the praying Christ of Buddha section is the part that has 3 Wu Saos in it. 3 Wu Saos, we call them 3 Wu Sao section, with 3 protecting hands. That's a more modern Western way of understanding that instead of understanding the Eastern philosophy of that. Okay? The way the Chinese call that section is praying Christ of Buddha section. Not that we study Buddhism here, but their prayer hands come in like this. And they bounce like, that means a high respect when you move your prayer hands out and then in, out and then in, instead of like this. You know, what is this? When you see something, you're like, oh, you're bringing your hands into you? That's total respect. You know, here, right, I can go like this, you know, but technically my hands are in a launch position. Here, yeah, I know I can bring them back and launch them out. But at least I'm demonstrating my hands are staying into me, you know? Just like this section, this is into me. My Kung Fu is very personal to me. I will bow and take my eyes off the opponent, you know? WingChun sensitivity should be at such a degree that you feel everything anyway. What does it mean to have your eye on the opponent, you know? That's another thing another time. Center line sensitivity, though, is very important. Anyway, this middle section, the second section of Single Town, really deserves 3 good years of very soft, gentle, and methodical attention. Very relaxed, soft, gentle, very, very, very gentle, very relaxed. And let it just drop almost. Learn how to drop before putting energy behind something that's dropping. Something that's dropping is fine. Then when you learn how to put a rocket boost behind that thing that's dropping, you got gravity helping plus everything else. Bottom line is, it's easy to drop this one. But can you get the same feeling of dropping out this one? Is the question. When you punch someone, do you need to put effort out, or do I just need to sink in a blow? Sinking in or dropping a blow into you? Am I like forcing out a thrusting thing? Or am I like holding a hammer and hitting you with it almost, you know? What are you doing? Same with the palm. Can you drop a palm out? Drop. Drop, same thing, you know? Drop, what's this? You know? Can I make that same dropping feeling? Can gravity help me out here too? You know, so that's the whole thing. Second section, give it some relaxed, soft attention, okay? Even the senior brothers, they will remember back now. They just have one of them Quai-Chen Kane Kung Fu flashbacks. They're like, damn, that's right. You know, he kept us doing that shit soft about 5 years. That bastard boy was tough on us. Man, shit, I hated this guy. Oops, am I talking out loud again? You know. Anyway. So, I mean, they remember. If you ask Marcus and Andre easy, they know how the first 5 or 6 years work. I never let that early generation hardly use any energy. There are a lot of people around town thought I was ripping them off. But now I've seen students that have enough energy, feel like they could crack a hole in the side of a mountain. You know, big old giant slab. Bam! With a palm strike, you feel like a crack on it. For sure, they crack somebody's sternum with a palm strike or a fist. They didn't get that power from practicing fast all the time. Now, I'm not saying my grand students are practicing fast. You guys understand about the soft nature. But if I'm taking the time to say this over and over and over, then I'm telling you to soften it up 10 times more than you already know. You know, there's it's just like having to tell you the story about Chicago. I give you a lot of good foundation here. Later on, when you remember this story, maybe you got to repeat it to your students, or you got to think about it again and figure out what I really meant by that story. You understand some things there. Now let me tell you, if I take over the time, if I take over 3 seconds to talk about something, or 3 minutes to talk about something, and it relates to Wing Chun training, I'm not just harping on something that could be a nag. I am saying it for a very good reason. I said 3 years. From anybody in here right now, even the most senior students, could give it a 3-year cycle or 3 years worth of training. I've done it. 21 years studying under MoyTungCH. I have started my Kung Fu over at least a half dozen times. And even without starting my Kung Fu over, I have looked at the second section of Sinum, which is connected to other parts of the whole system, but I've sometimes just studied that and only that for a long time. And played Pak-Chow with some people like real slow motion and soft. Just for months at a time, commit to doing that and do it. You get a result that never goes away. Every time you increase your Kung Fu power, like you put another cinder block of power on it, or like laying like a brick onto a building, it doesn't go away. See, like when people don't complete their Kung Fu training, they kind of have a half-completed building. They might have the frame all done and roughed in plumbing or something, even start some walls, but then they stop, that's it. Maybe it'll grow a little bit slower before it's completed, but the nature of a Kung Fu guy, what you're doing is, every time you play a Sinum, like you put another brick on a good building, that's your building. They build it, that's your building, yeah. And then you play a Sinum 10,000 times, it's 10,000 bricks, you fix part of the house there. Another couple of years, another 10,000 times, more bricks. Finally, when it's done, the house is still there, right? Only thing that's going to move it away is the act of God. When you die. So that's it. The point is that Kung Fu's like that. Kung Fu's not a pump you get, and then when you don't work out, you lose it. You always keep the Kung Fu. It's like riding a bicycle. There's something about riding a bicycle that is very much Kung Fu if you think about it. And there's a reason why people don't lose the ability to ride a bicycle once they gain it. You don't all of a sudden start teeter-tottering again, or need training wheels again. You might get on a wild a little tiny bit, but for the most part, once you get that balance, that's it. Once you understand that particular dynamic, and you can do it, your body adjusts to that, that's it. You understand? So Kung Fu is, of course, much deeper, more intricate than that, but something about that nature is still the same. Every time you play the Sinum Tao, it's like putting another layer of Kung Fu. From the inside out, but at the same time, from the outside in. Like, in other words, the layers built out here, also, then it meets in the middle. Then you're nice and thick with Kung Fu. That's the way my people used to like to say about it. So if you get that kind of picture, you sort of feel it. I mean, maybe it doesn't physically occur like that. Then again, maybe it does. Obviously, we don't physically occur like a house being built, but then again, maybe we do. As we progress day by day through time, there's something about us that does develop. There's something that evolves. So in an abstract way, maybe we do, all right? So you got to think of your Kung Fu training like that. Take time and study the detail. This middle section has a lot of detail to it. You really should take time and look at it more, and it's softer. Just let it drop. Get a good stretch. The nature of Sinum Tao is stretch. These just drop. Like you see this is part of the detail. But people can't see that. You can't show them. It has to be one fluid motion. And then it comes back in. This is part of the detail. People shouldn't see that though. It should be one fluid motion. They may see the double tonsile, but by the time they see the Fuchs side, there's a jut. And then view. Then this sinking motion here, sometimes people don't even see this move. Depends on the nature of the person playing it. This, obviously, they're going to see something rising. But that whole energy, there's a lot there in Sinum Tao. And believe me, you got to look for the other connections to the system from this little part too. As you play more Kung Fu, you look at your forms, you look at the way you're playing Chi style stuff. Where's the connection between the forms and Chi style? All right. So first and second section, one more time here. Ready? All the senior brothers understand this at a serious level, at their level. The youngest brother in here understands this at their level. We're doing the first and second section of Sinum Tao. Now we're getting ready to play Pak-Chow with Pak-Dar. The senior brothers understand this at their level. And everyone else, whatever year you're at, you understand this at your level. and everyone is working, getting something out of this exercise. So I'm telling you, even look deeper. This is all at your level. Senior brothers love going over this stuff again and again, like the rings around a tree. You're going to see the same thing again, but that tree is going to be thicker every year. All right? First and second section. Little idea form. That's what this smiles over those monks be saying. Oh, please, give me a little idea, help me out just a little bit, please, please. I'm just teasing, you don't have to say anything. But when you do this section real slow, you have a lot of time to think. You think about your kung fu, you think about techniques, you think about a lot of stuff. But you can't always play it slow. But with every workout, you should play it 1 or 2 times ultra slow. Then the rest of the times, this section right here, the 3 protecting hands, you've always got to do it slower and gentler than the rest of the form. It always should be noticeably different. Even that pop sound, that dim germ, looks quicker, obviously. There's more energy to it. But that tan sound, the 2 fu sounds, and those 3 wu sounds, it'd be ultra smooth. So soft, you don't even feel the snap. Almost like a push. You don't feel the snap at the end. You don't feel your elbow lock. Your body does not jar at all. Very gentle. Don't feel a lock. Bones are not locking. Energy is not snapping. Just drops, but no elbow lock. Oops, see, I had an elbow lock here. No elbow lock. No elbow lock. It's hard to judge that. All right, I'm focused, sorry. No elbow lock. Smooth, soft, no jarring of the body. Okay, now real soft and slow. Not as slow as that first section, 3 protecting hands part. Not as slow as that. But give it that slow, soft Tai Chi feeling. Actually, Tai Chi comes from Wing Chun. Think about the timing of that section. The timing. The timing. 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 Slow rising. Descends with gravity, but certainly should be slower rising. If you want speed and power, practice the move slow and soft for about 10 days, and then do that same move with power, and you'll see what I mean. Then discipline yourself to practice that same move for 1 year. So go ahead, do 10 days. Practice your punches in the air in slow motion in general. And at the end of 10 days, snap them out. You'll feel all this incredible new level of energy. Imagine if you do something like that on an ongoing training cycle. So you gotta be able to think like that. I'm giving you this word of caution because you guys are advancing. And one thing about Kung Fu guys, they advance. If they start to forget the basics, then they're dead. Not good. So any Sifu or Qigong or Tai Gong's job is always to repeat this. Oh. Any questions? Okay, now. Find yourself a partner and practice Pak Sao, Pak Dar for this thing. There's enough people in here even for partners, right? Is Who does not have a partner? Okay, so you're good with that. I mean, you warming up now? Still enjoying the forms? Cool. Keep doing that. I'll check in with Chief here in a minute. See, you don't need to do pasta lobster or nothing, so you're advanced. You're a master already. Is it on then? So it's only on when the red light's on, is that it?
Yeah. I'll give everybody a minute.
Beat 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. Do that section again, like when you hit the center line again, person. Do the section where you hit the center line again. Okay? Here. Coming up and doing this, right? Okay. Then. Okay. Again. One more time. All right, then you come make it this first. Then make this first. And then shift into it. Then open like this, first one. When you practice here. And hold your fist back here. Then put this up. You don't bring them down together, okay? And then make a fist here. And then you go low. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, actually 8, 9, 10. Because the hand pulling back helps as much. So you're here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay? Cool, man. Thank you. Thank you much. So do that section like 5 times at least. Just that middle section. At least a good 5 times. Study the detail. Like the timing, like when you step, you know, this bone style is completed by the time you finish stepping. So when to start, like putting that bone style when you're in motion, so there's a double thing going on there, and feel it. Get in motion. Really sit to that side, so that when you hit, you really got to move your horse to hit to the side too. So it's really, it's a funky little section, you know. That timing is very important. me go lower to you. Not as low as this. This is really low, but this right here is like red low. All right, so I'm not going to tell you anything about the third section. I'm going to give you some time to think. These stack at the same time, and then the body, you really have to have the hand. These have to be pointing down. So they have to be from here. See, they're here, and then the hands don't move. The body comes up to where the hands are, so therefore it's pointing down. You don't pull the hands back and point down. You're here. As you step forward, the body steps forward. The hands stay in the same position, pointing down, so they should be about here. So like if I stay here, right, okay, and you move forward. See, that's how the hand's gonna be. All right, so you're here, you move forward, go. All right, right there. But it shouldn't go down, it should stay here. These are gonna look like they're a little out of your borderline for a minute, no big deal for now. So your tongue's out here, now go. Right, that's where they should be, just pretty much. Do it again. Yeah, they should be like right about there, not touching. Down a little bit, and this foot in, knee in, a lot. Turn that out a little. Turn them out together. See? That knee has to be really bent, and the weight has to be all on the back leg, and the hips have to turn forward. You're twisting like a pretzel. That's what you have to do. It's a very strenuous exercise, a pain in the butt, but you got to twist up like a pretzel. Because when you get in fights, a lot of times your body is twisted up. We have so much training in being twisted up, it doesn't bother us. You got to practice being twisted up a lot. So twist a lot. When you practice twisting and bending. Okay? Twisting. Twisting. Sounds like a dance class. Twist and bend and twist. No changing hands. Lops out. Lops out. No changing hands. Concentrate on that one side. What do you see? What do you feel? What is the connection? Okay. Everybody take a break. Face the front. Ceiling tap. All right. Sit around the table. We're done.